and welcome to this longer Pilates session. It is a classic Pilates session using the foam roller. You do not need a foam roller. You could join without a foam roller and do the exercises just on the mat. The foam roller just gives it a little bit more instability. So I also have a towel lying on your roller, making sure your head and your tailbone are resting comfortably on the roller. Inhale, open to the side, and exhale, reaching up to the sky. Inhale, stretching into the fingertips, and exhale. Adding some pelvic tilts, arching the back as we inhale and open, and pressing the low back into the roller as you reach the arms up. So adding a little bit of pelvic tilting and tucking, so that we come to our neutral spine right in the middle. And moving into arm circles, we're going to reach up and overhead, circling the arms to the side, and inhale again, up and overhead. Let's stretch through the arms, reach through the fingertips, and watch we don't arch the back as the arms lift overhead. Keep the core connected, keep the breath flowing. Just a few warm-up moves before we go into our first classical Pilates exercise, the hundreds. We're going to scissor the arms now, one overhead, one down by the side, and slice and control the movement, very precise. Stay still in the center of the roller so it's not moving. Using the roller just adds a little bit more balance challenge, therefore core work. We're adding a pulse to these scissoring arms, a little pulse, pulse, and switch. Reach the arms to the ceiling and start to circle the wrists, moving the fingers and lowering the arms down. Take one leg up to the ceiling and point and flex. A little bit of footwork, lowering the leg a little bit, and continuing the pointing and flexing. Let's switch legs. Point and flex, breathe and balance. Lower the leg a little bit more for another 4 point and flexes. Activating those muscles in the legs and feet. Take your arms out wider to the side, lifting both legs up into tabletop so we can circle the ankles, circle the feet around about 8 times one direction and reverse. Keep the shoulders and head down, and we'll just start to tap the toes towards the floor, maintaining neutral spine. Exhale to tap. Inhale to return to tabletop. You could also inhale and tap, and exhale, pull that leg back to tabletop. Placing both feet down again, hip width apart, we're going to take the head side to side. Let those elbows and shoulders be heavy, and a nice little neck release. Stretch those arms overhead and the legs wider to the bottom corners of your mat for this total body stretch. If you're on the roller, this gives you more stretch in your hip flexors and shoulders and abdomen, just because you're lifted up and away from the ground. Hands onto the ribs, tuning into our breath. Let's inhale into the ribs, into the palms, and exhale, feel how the ribs contract and the palms move slightly inwards. Bring this awareness to the breath. And return the feet to the mat, knees bent, arms stretch overhead, and let's do an ab curl. Exhale up, inhale overhead. Exhale, curl. Inhale, stretch overhead. chin to the throat, just a little bit. Towards a double chin, you're looking at the knees or the thighs at the top of the move. Keeping the energy through the arms into the fingertips, flexing the spine, the middle and upper spine, keeping the hips neutral. We're going to stay here at the top for the pulsing, pumping hundreds arms. Inhale 5 times through the nose, exhale 5 times through the mouth. Everything else perfectly still. Keep flexing, keep deepening your belly button, keep curling up a little higher, keep reaching and stretching through those arms as you pulse. Inhale 5, exhale 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And once we've done 100, we're going to exhale a little deeper, curl up a little higher, hands behind the head. Let's do a bonus pulsing round for 8. Let your low back feel a little heavy towards that roller. And release down. Stretch out those arms and legs again into that total body stretch. And we're doing some angel arms here, keeping the arms close to the ground. We're sweeping them up and overhead and then to the side and down by the legs. Couple angel arms for shoulder mobility. And we're going to move this into our roll up, which is a little tricky on the roller. So you might notice that you have one leg that floats up as you're attempting this roll up, and you're going to try to anchor those heels down. Try to stay centered so the line of energy is right through the middle. Hips are even, legs are even. Get really centered. Exhale. You can make this a very small move if you can't roll up to the top or if it bothers your tailbone. Exhale to come up. Inhale at the top. Exhale through the roll down. Inhale overhead. And I'm doing a couple different arm variations, either circling them up and overhead, or just reaching them straight up and through the center. Or opening wide on the way down, those angel arms to come back up. Going for about 8 of these, and then we'll bring the feet back to the mat, and we'll take one leg up to the ceiling, toes pointed, and we're going to draw some circles, single leg circles. So arms can be close to the roller, a little bit more challenging, or wider from the roller, a little bit more support. And we're going to draw 8 circles with a perfectly straight lengthening top leg, long toes, and try to keep your opposite leg still. We'll reverse the direction for 8 more. Try not to let your rib cage move up and down. Try to keep the center body neutral. And then we're going to flex the foot and cross it over to the opposite knee. Pick up that bottom foot, pull the abdominals in before lifting the bottom foot away from the floor for a nice glute and hip stretch. Arms are a little bit wider for more balance support here. Keep bending that bottom knee towards you. And exhale to release. Leg numero 2 up to the ceiling, and we are circling. Relax the shoulders so they're not tensing or tightening up to the ears. Draw about 8 circles the size of a basketball. And then reverse the direction. Flexing the top foot, cross it over the opposite leg. Open up that knee wide to the side and exhale, bottom foot lifts away from the floor. Bending the knee towards the body as you inhale. And exhale, lowering down. And now press the palms down, exhale to float both legs up into tabletop, toes pointed, little space between the legs, and let's try a single leg stretch. Reach one leg forward, keep the other knee bending in, and switch. And alternate an option to lift the head, neck, and shoulders away from the roller, looking forward, palms stay down. Adding more flexion. Going into double leg stretch, both legs straighten, both knees bent. Keeping toes pointed. Resting the head down if you like, especially if you're feeling the neck too much. Keep the work in the core. And exhale, bring the feet down. Stretching out the legs a little wider than the mat again for another total body stretch. My favorite. I do many of these. I'm adding a little rocking motion side to side. And we're going to do one of those roll-ups. You can use your hands to press down and help you to come all the way up to seated, or you can exhale and attempt a roll up into sitting. Place the roller under the knees and prepare for another one of those transitional roll downs to bring our feet on top of the roller. Press the palms nice and strong into the floor and get in touch with your center body. Neutral bridge, lifting hips up. You'll feel a lot of work in the hamstrings if your feet are on the roller. Work to keep the roller still. Even better, try to bring the roller closer to you by bending the knees more when you lift. Exhale up and inhale, return. Try to keep the head perfectly still and centered between those shoulders. And direct that tailbone up towards the kneecaps as you lift up into bridge. Staying at the top, we're going to drop the hips just a little and lift a little. Pulsing, pulsing. It's a slow motion pulse, so not too fast, more control. Let's pick one leg up into tabletop, keeping those hips lifted. Straighten the leg to the sky, and let's point the toes to lower and flex the foot to do a controlled kick upwards. You can do it. Focus and breath and concentration and core. 8 times. We'll place the foot down. We'll keep those hips high as leg number 2 stretches to the sky. Point the toes, flex the foot up to the kick. Point the toes to lower the leg, flex to lift and kick. Very challenging single leg bridge kick move. Bring both feet to the roller, lift the hips a little higher. One more breath here, and let's slowly drop the spine, melting into the mat. Open those arms wide into a T shape, and let's do a lovely little congratulations twist, side to side with the knees. Allow the hips to move, the trunk of the body to move, maybe even the head and neck. It's just a little rest and recovery after that challenging bridge sequence. Holding the roller in both hands, stretching out the legs long, flexing the feet, hip width apart, let's reach overhead with the roller. And then let's start to lift the roller as one leg lifts up. And then lower down and try the other leg. So moving into a preparation exercise for our teaser. If you can, as that leg lifts, you come up a little higher, so you're rolling up. And I'm just going to add a little extra support for my low back. It's going to help me find more rounding in my low back. And it's going to actually help me find a little bit more deepening in my abdominals, because now I can press down into that towel as I come up to that single leg teaser. Exhale up. Try to keep lifting the leg as you come up. So if you're coming up higher, the leg has to lift higher. So hip flexion, ab flexion. I like exhale up and inhale down. Let's try both legs now for true teaser excellence. I'm pointing the toes to keep some length and strength in the legs. You can always bend the knees here and come into a tabletop balance as opposed to a V-sit. Exhale up, reach the roller to the toes. Inhale, control it down into that total body stretch. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Hold this last one. And good job. So far, so excellent. We're going to move into the saw. Feet flex, legs straight. Let's use the ruler to help us find the width of the legs. I'm sitting up on top of that towel now. Just giving my hip flexors a little bit more leeway to let go. And got those T-shape arms. So back to the twist, and this time adding the forward bend. It's like your baby finger is trying to reach for that baby toe. Twist, flex, reach. Those arms are reaching in opposition as you exhale. You're looking to that back arm, but you're reaching through the front fingertips. The leg stays still, so the roller is helping you to stabilize your legs and hips. Rotation and flexion, and strength and flexibility. Yay. Inhale to the sky and exhale. Let's fold forward and turn this into a straddle stretch. And round it back in, sitting tall. Pull down, or the pulley. Come into a plank position, hands on top of the roller. If this feels like it's not going to happen, then just don't use the roller, bring hands to the mat. Take one leg up without piking those hips any higher, and the energy pulls down. Exhale, pull the toes down. Inhale, spring it up, and exhale, pull it down. Let's switch to the other side. Exhale, pull down. Exhale, pull down. The breath contracts the core. It pulls the leg down to the floor. 8 times. Hold that plank for one more little moment and then rest the knees down. And coming into another plank, but this time it is going to be our toes that are on top of this unstable roller surface. Hands under shoulders. So I start with one leg, curling the toes, dropping the ball of the foot into that roller. Exhale, abdominals, and then leg number 2. See if the toes can stay connected to the roller as we try our Pilates push-up. Inhale, elbows bent. Exhale, push to the top. I'm not taking it super deep. I'm just balancing, breathing, and thinking happy thoughts. Gonna go for 4. And then carefully one leg, then the other. We'll pop those hips to the sky and we'll move into downward dog. Bring chest back. Let those arms lengthen, fingertips press. Soft knees. Breathe. One of our only other inversions. Shaking the head side to side, perhaps. Bending one knee, then the other. And then lowering those knees down, hovering above the mat for a moment, a breath or two, neutral spine. And just sitting back to the heels and resting it out for one more of those child's poses. And you can place the forearms on top of the roller and just rotate the arms, lean from side to side, create some new sensations in the body, and breathe in to that new space you've created. Bending elbows in and pressing overhead into overhead push-up. And planking on top of your roller. Piking hips up, one more down dog. Just dropping forehead into the roller here if it happens, just so happens to be positioned there. Walking feet in, reaching for opposite elbow, shaking out the knees. Popping up the roller so hands can come on top for this supported chest stretch. Kind of like downward dog with the roller. Rounding the back as you exhale, bending the knees, and coming all the way up to standing. Yay! Twirling with your roller, doing dance kick with your roller. Good job, everyone.